This is my remote viewing session on Sebastian Rogers. So I perceive a young male, quiet, introspective, with a heightened sensitivity to his environment and his surroundings. It feels like he's in this urban or semi-rural setting with a blend of natural and constructed elements. There is a faint hub of a nearby activity like vehicles or machinery, but that's not where he went missing from. This is where he was at when he left. I feel that he left the house because he felt uncomfortable there, especially around his stepfather. I feel there might have been some abuse there, potentially. He feels disoriented and overwhelmed, possibly by sensory inputs. There's a sense that he wandered or was led away from his house. Like, he just wanted some peace. He was distressed and he didn't want to go there, and he felt like he had to get away to protect his sanity. So at the day of his disappearance, I sensed him near a structure, and this could be a small building like a shed or an abandoned property. I'll get into this more later, but it's relatively isolated, but not far from the main area where he went missing, like a 2 to 5 mile radius. There may be water nearby, as the atmosphere carries like a damp, cool feeling. Again, it's possible he sought refuge here first and or was guided here, but then it feels like there's a presence of others. I sense another person, a male that's older. This individual feels opportunistic, not premeditated. His energy is inconsistent and oscillating between like hesitant and aggressive. Clues in the environment around this. There may be markings or disturbances near the area, such as footprints or discarded items or like a broken foliage. So searching within a 2 to 5 mile radius actually of the last known location, I think might reveal some of these signs. And if you look for areas with a blend of open and covered spaces, as well as paths that lead toward water or wooded areas with like a barn type structure or something like that. Sebastian actually feels like he's stationary now, possibly due to exhaustion, confusion, and restraint. This is odd. I feel like he's alive, but he's in a fragile physical and emotional state. His energy feels dim, like his ability to communicate or to call for help is like being inhibited or compromised. There's a strong impression that someone approached or intercepted him. This person feels male and older, possibly late 30s to 50s, and it sort of feels like it's his stepfather's energy. His background feels fragmented, like there's maybe a history of instability or even criminal activity, but not necessarily like someone on the run or anything like that, or on the radar for serious offenses. But his intentions don't feel like they're purely predatory. There's like this element of impulsivity and confusion in his actions. So this feels like the stepfather's energy. He may have initially thought he was like helping Sebastian or guiding him, but he overstepped somehow or became controlling, which then caused Sebastian to get very unnerved. And this feels like the stepfather's energy. And after leaving in the middle of the night, Sebastian seemed like drawn to this outdoor area that I was talking about near a quiet street. Like he walked away, and then he appears to have wandered for a bit, and it could be like maybe, I don't know, half a mile, but during this time he was calm, but then he increasingly got a bit disoriented, and I sensed that there was an interaction occurred with the individual I was just speaking about, the stepfather. And then there's also somebody else, okay? I couldn't get a really good hint on them, but the interaction feels like it was verbal, with the individual kind of like offering help. Like, so I feel like he was trying to tell him to come back home, like to guide him somewhere. And then Sebastian being vulnerable and possibly confused and not able to vocalize what he wanted to say, created resistance, and then the energy suggests that this person may have gotten like really upset and led Sebastian to this secondary location, which is a secluded area or structure that appears to be 2 to 5 miles from where he disappeared to. The individual's energy got more and more controlling and erratic, almost like Sebastian started realizing what was happening, and there was like some misunderstanding. He was trying to get him back home, and he was so erratic and trying to like, almost like he was like saying like, you're abusing me or something like that, and he couldn't communicate or respond in a way. So then it feels like the stepfather just like took him and was like, we gotta figure this out, like took him somewhere to like kind of get him to be quiet about it, right? And to like get him to change his story. So where is he now? And like I said, this surprised me because I oddly felt a sense of him being alive still, and I could be incorrect on this, but it feels like his energy is still in this realm. Okay. And the fact that his real dad feels that too is indicative. Okay. But the energy, he's in an enclosed or semi-enclosed space. It feels quiet and it feels isolated, such as like a small building or a shed or a vehicle. And the location is like 2 to 5 miles from where the interaction took place. Likely, there's a place called Hunt Street, I believe, that I would take a look at. And again, I sense elements of nature, trees, and like overgrown grass. And it looks like there's a gravel road. So it's like off the main, like he went southwest from where he was. And then he went to like a main street and then off on they took him off on this like off beaten path. Okay. And there was also, after I did this session, I saw in the report that there was these people that came up to him with like flashlights or whatever, supposedly that two individuals came up. And I think, again, this was the stepfather trying to, help him initially. I don't know who the other man was, but it feels like this escalated to something they couldn't get him to come back home. And so it led to them taking him somewhere to get him to calm down, and they still can't get him to calm down and change his story. It feels like they're trying to like get him to totally change his story. And it also feels like the mother knows more than she's letting on. Okay. Like I don't feel like she's directly involved, but it feels like she's like, there's more than she's letting on. And, it feels like she's not telling the police everything that she should. And the stepfather definitely feels like he knows everything and is intentionally obscuring the information, right? So it looks like he headed towards Long Hollow Pike Road, and there isn't a secluded area there, but if you look around this Hurt Road, and I'm not saying that's where he is, there's a 210 Hurt Road. That building looks to me similar. It's not that location, but similar to what I saw him in. It doesn't feel like the place that he's in now, but it feels like he sort of may have passed that on the way there, like his energy imprint is by there, and that lingering energy signature could be off one of the roads right there, but I couldn't make out exactly which one. But like I said, so that's where I would be searching. The last part was heartbreaking, and this is something that's not come through before, but he had a distinct message for his dad, and that was one where he says, I'm sorry for leaving. I didn't mean to hurt you. I love you, and I miss you. And I just want you to know, I just wanted to feel safe. And there's also a underlying feeling of like safety and trust with his dad. And Sebastian seems to believe that his father will continue looking for him until he finds him. So I hope this helped you guys. If you want to book a session with me, you can do so going directly to my profile on TikTok or www.psychicbabes.com. So I hope this helped, guys. Lots of love to you.